It's Sunday and it's a rainy one. Yep, I woke up to the sound of rain on my AC that I leave in like basically all of winter because I have nowhere else to put it, which is actually quite relaxing, but it does mean that any errands I run today will be much more difficult. No matter, I have an exciting day planned because I have friends coming over for dinner, and when we went apple picking, which you may have seen in a past video, if not, I'll leave it in the description box below. You should go check it out. It was super fun. We ended up with 2 gallon-sized Ziplocs filled with apple chopped up. I spent about an hour cutting those apples into little chunks, and now it is time to use them. So they've been kind of sitting in my fridge, well, freezer, so I froze them because I knew I wasn't going to be able to use them right away. And now I need to make a meal out of them, so I thought it would be a fun idea to kind of try to use them in an appetizer, a dinner, like a savory course, and then like a baking type of situation, which is obviously the easiest for cut up apples, at least for me. So yeah, so I think what I'm going to try to make is apple chutney. Then there's this dish with chicken, apples, carrots, and other things that you kind of just like bake in the oven. And then hand pies, which are Pop-Tarts basically. So you can use any kind of cookie cutter shape to cut out 2 pieces of the same size pie dough, which could be like flaky dough or like a more traditional like crumble crust. And then you put the apple filling in between and you bake them off in the oven. So I think it should be fun. But I do need to go get ingredients today, so that's on the agenda. Also, I'm currently editing another YouTube video that's gonna go up, hopefully, fingers crossed, today, of us going to Storm King from last weekend, I believe. Yes, last weekend. Now, first and foremost, I need to get ready for the day. So I just put on my comfy outfit, which is Lululemon leggings and this rag & bone top that I got at TJ Maxx long time ago. Also, please excuse the mess in the background. I've cleaned basically like half of my apartment, as you saw yesterday, and the other half still needs some love, but I'm gonna get to it. But first, let's get ready. So yesterday I found this Tarte Moisturizer sample, so I'm gonna use that on my face. It's supposed to be like a tinted moisturizer. I don't usually go with those. I usually just use my Dior foundation, but I mean, it's Sunday and I don't want that much on my face, so I'm just gonna use that and see how it goes. And then just something to like freshen up this situation. And I think I'm feeling like a fall lipstick or a fall eyeshadow, so I guess you'll see what I end up with in just a second. So this is me with the tinted moisturizer on. It does seem like it's made me quite dewy, like it's a bit oily, and it may have lightened me up. I used the lightest of the 3 shades in there. I could have probably gone with something tanner, but you can always just use some sort of like a bronzer situation to tone it back and match it back up to your neck, which is what I'm about to do. And then I'm going to put on some concealer, and I think it's actually fine, the coverage. The concealer is definitely going to do the heavy lifting for under the eyes, but as for the rest of the face, I don't really need that much, I guess. Here we go. So I used an old MAC bronzer, this one, to kind of tan myself back up, and added, added Hourglass powder over the top of it and my concealer. I think it's looking pretty good. Alright, face is done. I used the Kylie Cosmetics, this color, and then the brown tone that is 2 below that in my corners for a little fall red eye, and it's the Burgundy Palette from Kylie. I actually love this palette. It's really great. We got it from my cousins as well. Just really good fall colors that are still quite wearable. They're not like too red, but they're just red enough where it goes that way. But anyway, I think it's time for Starbucks, and then I'll get back to editing. So let's go get some coffee. That's my coffee dance. Okay, so this is my outfit. This coat is from Aritzia and it looks like a bathrobe, which is exactly why I bought it. It's kind of just like super laid back. And then, as I said, leggings from Lululemon. And then these shoes can't talk before caffeine, are weatherproof boots from Cole Haan. And they're fur lined. Like, let me show you if it would focus. They're fur lined, which is just amazing. Waterproof, fur lined, and you would never be able to tell, which is exactly why I bought them. So yeah, now I'm gonna grab an umbrella because I can hear it starting to rain again, and we're gonna get some coffee finally. Let's go. I also forgot to mention that I'm wearing the Orange Sanguine perfume again from Atelier Cologne. I'm obsessed. Like, it smells amazing. Maybe it's just like I have a thing for oranges, as you guys already know if you see my past videos, but it just smells so real. Family, if you need Christmas gift inspiration, you know, hint, hint, hint. Okay, not subtle, but I absolutely love this perfume. I can smell it right now. I put some on my wrist, and yeah, it's just like lovely, citrusy, and seasonal. Alright, my breakfast is ready. Got some croissants from yesterday. One of the mini cheese rolls that Maison Kaiser sells, my misto, and a smoothie, and of course some cream cheese for the cheese roll, and then this lovely pumpkin cream cheese, which you might remember from my Trader Joe's haul, and some apple butter. So obviously I'm not putting the pumpkin cream cheese on here, but it might be very good on here. Alright, we're headed out again. Say hello to Joelle. Hi. She's visiting. Sorry, that was probably out of focus. I finished the pie dough. Let's peer into my very dirty fridge. There we go. And got some crackers for later that are pumpkin flavored. We are all set for the real stuff. So we're gonna grab some chicken and some veggies and everything that you need for the actual recipe other than the apples I already have. So yeah, let's go to Whole Foods. Alright, so we're rocking and rolling. I am preparing the chutney currently, which is cooking on the stove. I have prepared the pan for where the chicken is going into, but it's marinating right now. And I've got the pie dough ready, as I said, and I just need to make the filling, but I think I'll probably wait on that until it gets closer to dinner time. So let me show you what we're working with here. So this is a recipe that is in my aunt's cookbook, which is called Strandgoere und Kuestenschmaus. And sorry, let me turn one page. It's actually this recipe. It's the chicken with apples and grapes. And we've got, I sort of amended it a little bit and added a couple more things, but essentially it's chicken marinating with paprika, lime, olive oil, and balsamico, and then that thyme. I didn't have thyme, so I used parsley and anything else I could find, and also garlic. And so that's happening right now. And then you add 2 chopped apples and 100 grams of what's it called? Grapes. You add 100 grams of grapes and salt and pepper to taste. And then for preparing it, once the chicken is done marinating, which I'm going to leave it for about an hour. Obviously it's the best the longer it marinates, but I don't have that much time. So once that's done, I'm going to take it out of the Ziploc it's currently in and putting it into a pan for 7 minutes on either side to brown it, and then it goes in the oven to like bake it off basically for 30 to 40 minutes at 175 degrees Celsius, which I think is probably somewhere around 350, but I will check on that and get back to you. So this is the pan that the chicken will be going into the oven. So we've got apples, carrots, leeks underneath here, onions, and grapes. I really like carrots and leeks with chicken, so I kind of just added that, and also just it looks nice. And then if we come over here, this is the chutney on the stove. So we've got apples in here and caramelized onion with apple cider vinegar, and let's see what else is in there. Got some cinnamon, some salt, some ginger, and some curry. And this is just a recipe I found online, so I'll leave it linked below if it's successful. So that just has to kind of cook down and become chutney-esque. And then the third thing, because we're being healthy, you know, is an autumn salad. So I had red beets already and feta, and so I added some of the apples and spinach and just tossed it in some balsamico. Nothing too fancy. So I'm all set up here. I've got my wine, my flour, pie dough, and a surface to roll it out on. Sort of makeshift, but it'll do. And then I'm going to be putting the halves on here. The two cutters I'm using are these two. So there's a heart and a circle. Classic. You might be asking why I need wine for pie. I don't. Alright, so I've added some egg wash and finished these up, so I'm going to pop these babies in the oven at 350 and just play it by ear. I guess we'll see how long it takes. I have no idea, but I'll report back when they're done. So dinner is done. Success. Everything was not burnt. And the pies tasted pretty good. They ended up being in the oven for I want to say about 20 minutes. It kind of depends on how cold your pie dough is and also how cold your filling, obviously, for it to cook through. And they ended up being in the oven at 350 degrees, and then I turned it up to 400 about halfway through because I popped also the chicken in there, so you sometimes need to kind of increase the temperature if there is more stuff in the oven, which makes sense. But yeah, if you try it, you know, send me pictures, let me know what you thought. I'll leave all the recipes I use linked in the description box below. Obviously, one of them is my aunt's recipe from her cookbook, so I'll see if I can write it in the box below, but I also pretty much just described it to you in the video, so mostly it should be pretty clear. And it turned out really well, so thank you for that recipe. And other than that, I think, well, obviously I already took off my makeup. I'm pretty tired after a long day of like cooking and sourcing food, etc. So I'm pretty much just headed to bed after this. took off my makeup. The Tinted Moisturizer turned out really well, actually. If you enjoyed this video, it was a chill one. I didn't really go out and, you know, go to Storm King or go apple picking or anything like that. Enjoyed my weekend in the Upper West Side. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. And tell me what you like to do to relax over the weekend. Whether it's a bath, cooking, baking, you know, reading, whatever it is, let me know in the description box below. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!